All right, guys, welcome back. Here's my neck, and that's what I'm going to be working on. But first, I want to show you this. This was down in the basement collecting dust, and haven't had it out for a while. But this here is something I acquired quite a long time ago, a few years ago anyway. But what's in the box? What's in the box? Open it up and find out. Let's see. La, what is that? That is a guitar that I acquired. I actually traded it for my Randy Rhoads RR7. It was a Jackson Flying V. But I had the Jackson Flying V for a few years, and a buddy of mine had this and asked if I wanted to trade it. Came with a hard case. My Jackson came with a hard case. I kind of regret giving it away or trading it for this. I really liked that Jackson Flying V. Well, of course, it was a Randy Rhoads RR7. It was metallic blue, but this one's also metallic blue, and as you can see, it's been sitting in the case for quite a while, and it's pretty dirty. It's got the two volume and a tone and a three-way switch. Uh, yeah, rosewood fingerboard. It's an Ibanez. Yeah, and I did look up the serial number. It was made in an unknown factory in China, and yeah, 2003. I think I traded for this in 2005 or 6. I don't remember. Of course, it's a string through body. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Kind of a nice guitar. I do miss my Flying V though, but this one's way lighter. I don't know why I traded it, but I did. But it needs a spa day, so we're gonna have to do a spa day someday. Maybe I'll do a video of that. Tear it down, clean it up. Yeah, put the strap in right. By the way, I'm doing a voiceover because once again, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn my mic on. But anyway, it needs new strings. That string there that I'm pointing to is a bronze wound, and the rest are silver. So I don't know, kind of weird. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into that someday. I will do a voice or a voice. I will do a spa day on this Ibanez. It's like I said, it's been down in the basement way too long. I've been playing my Squire Telecaster, and I've been playing my Oscar Schmidt Washburn. It's a semi-hollow body. I've been playing those two and neglecting this one, but it needs some care. It needs some TLC, so we'll get into it. I'll make a video and do a spa day. So back to the neck. That's my neck, Stumac neck. So I leveled all the frets and then marked them, and I was going to crown them. I was waiting on a crowning file. Buddy of mine said he had a crowning file I could borrow, so I brought it home. I thought it was in Music Nomad, but it's not. This is what he has, and it's a diamond file. It has small grooves for doing small frets. It has large frets, and it has medium. And since I installed medium jumbo frets, that's what I'm going to do. But anyways, that's pretty easy, so I'm going to try the medium, I don't know, I was pointing to the top, but it also has a flat on the side, so you could do flat filing if you wanted. But I'm going to get into the medium, and yeah, I had to do something, so I was putting the file away. Yeah, so I was putting it away because I was going to come back, but I was talking about while I'm filing these, my buddy that let me borrow his file said that it's a diamond file, and the metal shavings will get stuck in the diamonds, so you have to use a wire brush to clean it out with. And I have a wire brush, and I think it's a steel wire brush. But anyway, he said to clean it out because if you don't, you're going to be filing along, and pretty soon it's going to seem like nothing's going on. It's not filing. So anyway, here we go. We're going to get a wire brush. There it is. It's like an old battery cleaner type wire brush. It seemed like it was going to work perfect for cleaning the file out. So yeah, I'm going to get started on these frets. I've never done this before, so thank you for coming along with me, and we can do it together. And yeah, so I'm just going to do it one at a time. I'm going to start at the first and go to the last and get them filed out. So like I said, I had already crowned them or filed them flat, so they were leveled. And I got my tape on there. I'm going to leave the tape on until I'm done filing or crowning all the frets, and then I'll do some sanding on it, and because the book says to sand it with finer and finer sandpaper to remove all the scratches after filing it and crowning and that kind of stuff. So I did level it, like I said, and about ready to start crowning. And yeah, like I said, I've never done this before, so I was kind of scared about the entire fret job. And you guys might remember that I did pull all the fret wires out in the nut. And yeah, so I'm going to use the medium because that's what I have, medium jumbos. And I'm going to give it a shot. I'm kind of scared. What do I do? I've seen people going back and forth, like really getting into it. But my buddy says, just take it real easy. Let the file do the work. And you're going to see after marking them, it's going to have a thin blue line or black line or whatever color permanent marker you're using. So I ran it across a few times, and man, it was pretty quick and pretty slick. There it is. Trying to get it in the camera, and there's the thin blue line. Can you see it? That was quick. That was super fast. I thought it was going to be a lot of like scraping back and forth and just going to town. So, all right, let's try the second one. Just taking it easy. And he said, yeah, just take it easy, go slow. So that's what I'm doing. Takes care of that pretty quick and in a hurry. And it doesn't require a whole lot of pressure. It just does what it does. So there's number 2, thin blue line. Just crazy how fast that worked and how slick that was. It was amazing. So I'm going to get on to number 3. Yeah, he said make sure to keep it straight up and down and level as you're working it. And yeah, works pretty good actually. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, there's a couple of extra little strokes there. Yeah, I don't know where he got this file from, but it was working really well. And on to the next one. I don't know if you guys have seen this kind of file before or not, but let me know what you think in the comments. This thing was, like, I couldn't believe it. And I believe they're medium jumbo, they're Fender style medium jumbos, and I believe they are nickel fret wires. Yeah, I just couldn't believe how quick and how easy. Like I said, I saw some other people with fret crowning files, and they were just going to town on those frets, just back and forth and scraping them. And it seemed like, man, this is gonna take quite a bit of elbow work. So I was a little apprehensive at first, a little scared to start, but I'm already almost halfway up the neck. It's like 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes worth. I'm already almost halfway through. I could not believe it. Yeah, so anyway, if you guys want to leave your comments, or if you have any questions or concerns or anything, put that in the comments down below, and I'll sure visit them, interact with you. I was just totally amazed at this fret file. Probably about time to clean it out too, I think. Yeah, I think it's about time to clean it out. Well, maybe. I don't know. I think it seemed like it was starting to get a little slower and not cleaning it up as much, so I think I kept looking at it and thinking, I might. Of course, it was kind of hard to see too with the blue. Yeah, now it's time to clean it out. And that's just a wire brush for like cleaning battery terminals, battery cables, and things like that. I think I bought it years ago and just had it sitting in the toolbox and thought, man, this would be perfect. It worked just fine. And there were a couple of frets up there towards the top that seemed to be a little more stubborn. I don't know why. Just a couple of them that seemed like it was a little harder to see. But this thing made quick and easy work of it. Like I said, I was a little apprehensive, a little scared to work on them, to do this. But my thought was, you know what? If I mess it up, okay, I messed it up, and could always start over. I didn't want to, but if I had to, I guess I could. The whole process, and I apologize for not recording the whole process. I wasn't even thinking about it prior, but I should have. But in the future, I might get another a kit build. Ted over at Ted Talks Guitars and Life found one on Temu for $52, and that might be something that I entertain, and I could do the same thing for that kind of money for $52. Yeah, I could rework another neck. And the whole process of pulling the frets off, I just used my flat end nippers, or flat, I guess, flat front nippers. I just used those to pull the fret wires out. I just worked it real soft and easy, really carefully so not to tear up the fretboard. And there were a few areas where the wood did come out, little tiny chips that came out, but I planned on re-radiusing it, and when I re-radius the neck, of course, I saved the sanding dust, and then I used some CA glue to fill in those little chips. I used a product from Stumac called a fret dam, which was Teflon, and the Teflon, you cut it into strips like I'd showed in the pictures before, and put it inside um, the fret slots, and then you could fill in the little chips and cracks with CA and wood dust, sanding dust, because it's the same color as what you just removed off the board. And then once I did that, I just installed my fret wires. I got them in there and cut them off with my Dremel. I kind of laid the fret wire on top of the fretboard and marked it with a permanent marker, and then chopped it with a cutoff wheel on my Dremel. But yeah, so there you go, like 10 minutes total to crown all those frets. I couldn't believe it. That tool was fantastic. And there's a couple areas I noticed that I had to go back towards the edges. I may not have had it exactly on there, but a little bit of cleanup, no big deal. But yeah, then once I got the frets in there and nipped off, I used my 90-degree file that I bought and 35 degree so it flips. Put it in the 90 degree and then you put it in 35, and I addressed the frets that way along the fret board. And then yeah, taped up the fretboard and leveled them. I used my 9.5 radius block for leveling the frets. Like the book said. I couldn't believe that. Sure, I was going to spend a little amount of money on fret leveling beams and fret crowning files and all that. I'll tell you what, that tool worked slick, so that was my friend Larry that let me borrow that. And Larry also set up my Oscar Schmidt for me, just out of the kindness of his heart, so yeah, I just can't believe how easy that was. I thought it was going to be a daunting task, and I was really not prepared mentally, but yeah, there you go, little tiny thin blue line. Yeah, it's hard to see in the camera, but they're there. I can't believe how good it cleaned those up. It worked really well. I don't know what I was saying. You can do it too, maybe. Have faith in yourself. Go out on a limb. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I still gotta, at this point, I still had to dress the ends. They're a little sharp. They're not gonna send you to the hospital, but they'll snag. Yep. And I'm talking about, the book says next to sand it with 600 grit, go up to 800. And that's all it said, but I believe I went up to 5,000 when I sanded it. Yeah, I think I was just saying it's pretty easy if you ever wanted to get into it. Just do it. Get it done. I didn't think I could do it, and that tool my friend Larry let me borrow is fantastic. I highly recommend it. I don't know what it is. If I find out, I'll let you guys know, but I don't even know where it came from. But it did have the small, medium, and large frets and then a flat end. Alright, so I did look. It is a Baroque, Baroque, fret crowning and edge file. So there you go. I don't know where you get it, where he got it, but that thing was fantastic. Worked like a dream. Yeah, so, and I don't know what I was talking about. Like I said, I apologize. I did not have my microphone turned on again. Somebody suggested a checklist, so I think maybe I'll have to do a checklist, but if I continue this kind of stuff. But yeah, there's my fretboard. Got it all crowned, and now I'm about ready to get into sanding it. The tool is awesome. If I continue to do this kind of stuff like fretwork and things like that, I might invest in something like that. But I don't know. I still have the Music Nomad, the S file or Z file or whatever it is. I have that in my Amazon wish list. May have to pick me up one of those, but we'll see. Yeah, I might have to, and I can always borrow Larry's Baroque file if I need to. But eventually, I want to get one of my own. I don't have to borrow. And yeah, I think I'll do another cheapo kit build, and then that way I can record me doing the neck refret and re-radius for you guys, so you could see it. So yeah, here we go. Now we're we're getting into sanding. So the book said to use 600 grit sandpaper and sand up and down the board. So I have a foam block. I'm going to follow the book for 600 and 800 sandpaper. But like I said, I took it all the way up to 5,000 grit, I think. I think that's as high as I went, but anyway, just says to go up and down the fretboard. And it said let the sandpaper do the work on the foam block, so that's what I'm doing. Just kind of cleaning them up. Get the rest of the blue permanent marker off of there. Going up and down the frets. Yeah, them fret ends are, yeah, that's the foam block. It does have some kind of abrasive on it, but I'm trying to keep it from the end. I saw a couple of times it looked like it might have went over, but that's okay. So there I changed. That was the 800 grit. And that was pretty easy too. I mean, it's just sanding, just going up and down, just cleaning them up. But I do have to dress them fret ends. And I've still got to figure out what I'm going to do for my finish. Not 100% sure yet. Somebody had talked about the golden pecan. I saw a golden oak that looked kind of nice too. But I was thinking, originally I was just going to go along with the book and get the TV yellow. That's what they recommended and all that. But it's going to be like I had said in the previous video, almost $300 for finishing products. That was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 cans of spray paint, or spray. It was all aerosol, but it's like, man, for $300, I don't know. But yeah, somebody mentioned the golden pecan. I can't remember exactly. I apologize if you're watching this. Who told me that? I've got so many people reaching out to me lately. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm ecstatic about it. But when Ted Talks Guitars and Life did his guitar is just beautiful. His Stewie, just a beautiful guitar, and but it's a little too dark for my liking. So I was thinking, I might look at that golden pecan or the golden oak, something a little closer to those lines. Kind of a lighter stain color for that old mahogany body, and then the maple neck. But anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do quite yet on that. But I definitely want to give it a nice stain, I think. think I'll go stain rather than painting it. I do like the looks of the wood, so I'll go along with that. Yeah, I think I was saying that the book only says to go up to 800, 600, and then 800, and then that's it. That's all it says. But I watched some other people, some other videos, and they went up pretty high. They were doing double aught or quad aught uh, steel wool. I don't think I have any of that, but I do have sandpaper that goes all the way up. I had a blue finger. The blue marker was going into my skin, and consequently, it also got on the neck itself. So I had to do a little scrub work on the neck. That's okay. It all comes off. And if all else fails, you can sand it down again. A little bit of naphtha and sandpaper, and it's as good as new again. So I didn't tape off the rest of the neck. And I probably should have, but I wasn't even thinking about it. But no big deal. It all cleaned up in the end. Yeah, them fret ends are still a little sharp. So I'm going to have to go back later and take care of them with a file. But yeah, that's what I was doing. And I didn't show it on camera, but I did go up to 5,000 grit on the sandpaper. So there's after I did 6,000 grit on the sandpaper, and I'm about to get the Dremel with the polishing compound and a buffing wheel on the Dremel to clean up them frets. So my metal polish is kind of funny. I had some metal polish. I don't remember. I used to use it on what was it? Silver. So it's kind of a silver polish, and it's for metal. But anyway, I was shaking it up and mixing it and getting it, in the bottle kneaded and things like that. And it popped. It blew up on me and squirted metal polishing compound all over me, in my beard, on my shirt. It wasn't fun. But that's what happens. I wasn't being aggressive with it, but I think it was an older container, and I think it just got old and degraded. So by shaking it up and kneading it in the bottle, there's the bottle. It squirted out on me. So there it is. I've got some on my finger, put some on my buffing wheel. Now I'm just adding what I had squirted on me and on my fingers put onto the buffing wheel. I brought all the other implements of destruction for my Dremel because the buffing wheels were in there. Yeah, I just left the container, so just in case I burned through one of them. But then I took some of the metal polish and just put some on the frets. And I probably used too much because I was slinging buffing compound everywhere. I don't know. I probably used way too much. But that's okay. And if I didn't say it before, I'll say it now. Thank you guys so much for following along. If you've made it this far, I sure appreciate you checking out my video and watching my progress on this StewMac kit that my daughter bought me. Can't wait for it to be playable. Yeah, just about got it all off my fingers and onto the guitar board, the fretboard. Like I said, I probably used way too much, but I had a ton of it on me. There we go with the Dremel, getting after it. And after hitting them fret wires, boy, they sure shined. They were they were nice looking. Of course, there's bits and pieces of my buffing wheel going everywhere. Fret ends were pretty sharp. Like I said, I still have at this point I still have to dress them and knock the sharp edges off. But they're not too sharp to where you're going to get your finger sliced off or anything like that. They're pretty uncomfortable though, and your finger does snag on them. You probably saw that with the sandpaper, but that buffing compound and that buffing wheel sure brought out the bling on those fret wires. Like I said, I think they're nickel. I don't think they're stainless steel, but I guess they might be, but I don't know. I don't know what Fender normally has because they were a Fender style, and the package didn't say exactly what they were or what they were made of. And it wasn't in the advertisement. I think I got them on Amazon, but they were Fender medium jumbo frets that I put in there. I just like the medium jumbo better than the vintage. And I guess your fret wire is player preference. I mean, what you like, what you're used to. Yeah, that buffing wheel sure did clean them up and make them sparkle. I couldn't believe how shiny they were after I was done going over it with the buffer. And of course, the Dremel made quick work of it. And I was thinking I probably should have had my neck clamped down or in a vise or something like that, but I don't have a vise. Might be another tool I've got to acquire at some point in time. And I'll have to check. I don't think there's anything special or particular about that polish. I think it was just metal polish. Years ago, I was taking I don't know if you guys remember the state quarters, but they used to do silver proofs on the state quarters, and I would buy the silver proofs. And I did this for my daughter for her wedding present for her and her husband. But I took the state quarters uh, from their states of birth, and I punched a hole in the middle of it, and then folded it over and put it on my mandrel. But basically, I made rings out of them, so they were um, just like rings to fit your finger, like you'd wear on your hand. But they were the quarter, state quarter, and like I said, I had one for her state of birth and one for his state of birth, and I made coin rings. You could probably look it up on Etsy to see them, but it's really neat, and was something I got into for, I don't know, a while. I was doing that, making rings for people. But I used that metal polish on the silver, and those rings sure did shine up. And same thing, I used the Dremel tool with a buffing wheel and cleaned the ring up, and boy, they sure shined. And these fret wires were really shiny too after I buffed them out with this metal polish and the buffing wheel on the Dremel. Yeah, I don't know. Is this the right way to do it? The wrong way to do it? Is there a right way or wrong way? I don't know, but it worked for me. Seemed like uh, seemed like it was working just fine for me the way I was doing it, and my work thus far it seems to be working out pretty good. But put it down in the comments if you see something that you don't like. Yeah, there you can see some of that buffing or that metal stuff in my beard. Man, it splattered everywhere. That stuff went crazy. Like I said, it got on my shirt, got in my beard. I wasn't expecting that. And I hope it comes out of my shirt. I hope it doesn't stain it because I really like that shirt. Alright, that's about the end of that. Looks like I was squishing Smurfs or something. I got blue all over my hands. Blue from the permanent marker, blue from the metal polish. It got all over. It made a mess. But yeah, there's my neck. Yeah, and I'm pretty proud of it. I think it turned out pretty well. Yeah, look at how shiny those are. That's almost a mirror finish there. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you have any comments, what you think. Right, wrong, and different. What you would do, what you wouldn't do. And there it is after I took all the tape off. Look how shiny those are. That's some shiny, shiny frets. But hey, thanks for stopping in, guys. I sure appreciate you. And until next time, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.